Sentinels recently was upset by the guard in a 2-0 fashion, but at this point it's kinda not really an upset. The guard has been playing extremely well, and Sentinels isn't exactly at peak performance. Now, naturally, due to poor results, a lot of fans have been coming at the pro players, and in this specific instance, we're talking about ShahZam. Here in this clip from his stream, it's clear that there are fans that have been criticizing the amount of time that he's been spending on streaming, claiming it's the reason, or if not part of the reason, why Sentinels isn't performing to the level that they used to.
Yeah, I do care about streaming, but I never let it get away competing, and that seems to be like what everyone's hating me for. It's true, I care about my stream, I care about my future. Streaming's buying my mom a house, not pro Valorant.
ShahZam goes on to talk about how streaming is important to him, and although being a competitive player, he doesn't want to give up on streaming. Now, I know what a lot of people are thinking. If you're a competitive player, then you need to win games, and that should be your only focus. But I'm gonna tell you why that's wrong, and why ShahZam should keep streaming. Now, I'm also a content creator, so I understand the struggle, but of course, by no means am I anywhere near the size of ShahZam. But using common sense and just my personal experience, I hope that I can bring it into a better light. So let's kind of talk about income, because income matters. And as much as playing games for a living and being a professional player can be a dream to many of us, if it's not sustainable, it generally isn't worth living. So we compare the two incomes, his salary versus the money he makes through streaming, and by extension, we're going to go a little bit into content creation. Specifically though, we're going to talk about YouTube, and the reason why I can tie this in together is because most of his content on YouTube is just edited streams that have been cut up, and generally he's not the one doing the editing, so the time he spends toward it is just the same as the time he spends streaming. Basically not really cutting to his practice time or any time that he would put toward competitive play. So I think it's okay to bundle these two. Now, using this article where ShahZam actually talks about the average amount of money that Valorant pros make,
I feel like 5,000 to like 20,000 is like the range for most teams per month. And then there's some teams and players above that. Way above that.
We're gonna use his statistics and we're gonna guess, because we don't honestly have an exact amount. You can only make an educated guess. In the clip, he guesses anywhere between the range of $5,000 to $20,000 a month. Now, we're gonna aim toward the upper echelon, as at the time of this video, Sentinel is doing very well. So we're gonna talk about that $20,000 a month. So using $20,000 as a baseline for his salary, how does he do towards streaming? As of the time recording, I hopped onto Twitch Tracker and I took a look at his current active subs, and it's around 11,000 subscriptions. To be exact, 11,168. We're gonna assume a 50-50 cut from Twitch, so that means it's about $2.50 for every sub, meaning if we do the math, his stream income has already exceeded his salary income, totaling $27,920. And this isn't even all the money he makes. Going on to Social Blade, I took a look at ShahZam's statistics, and in the last 30 days, he has received 2.2 million views on his YouTube channel. Using the average amount of CPM at about $5 for a gaming channel, personally, I believe it's actually higher than this, but we're just going to use $5 for a nice round number. We can kind of estimate that ShahZam makes around $5,500 after the fact that you include that YouTube takes about half of the 11,000. So let's draw the comparisons. Income from monthly salary, we have the $20,000 that we're estimating. And then we look at the content creation / streaming side, and we're coming up with over 30K from adding up his total current Twitch subscribers, which by the way doesn't include ads or gifted bits or anything like that, as well as his YouTube channel, which doesn't include any paid sponsorships that he might be promoting in the beginning of his video. Also doesn't include, by the way, that the fact that he's sponsored by iBuyPower. All of this stuff, we're just going by these statistics to dumb it down and make it really easy to understand. Okay, so just based off of monetarily, we understand that makes more money doing content creation, but that's kind of not all. So let's talk about financial freedom and stability. Every time ShahZam posts a video or goes live on stream, he increases the value of his brand. ShahZam is an insane player, and just the fact that he's good at the game is not his only attribute that we should really be considering. He's a funny guy, he's charismatic, as well as the fact that he is good. If he were to only rely on his contract with Sentinels, what would happen is that he feels very constrained. We're taking a look at an era right now where pro players are kind of getting harassed for losing games, the games that their fans believe that they shouldn't have lost or that they're not trying hard enough, as well as organizations that are constantly looking for progress and results in an ever-developing ecosystem of competitive play. Pretty much all that adds up to being scared of losing your job the moment you start losing. Now, we all know even the best of the best has their slump. So with that taken into consideration, that means that these moments where you are scared of losing your job is inevitable, as even the best teams in other games have not been able to maintain their supremacy throughout the lifelong duration of most of their careers. So with that being said, would you really want to work a job where you're always worried about getting fired? We didn't even mention that streaming and creating content for yourself in general puts more power in your own hands. Obviously, you're not going to fire yourself. Contracts aren't forever. Well, you might be getting paid $20,000 a month now, and even let's say if it was $50K a month, if you only had that contract for a couple years, is that worth it for only short-term gain, or would you rather have long-term stability? So ultimately, we come to this question. Why is ShahZam still competing? And the simple answer is he loves it. He's not satisfied with his results, and I think there's something valiant about knowing that you no longer have to compete, yet every part of you still wants to win. For those of you who think that winning is more important and that by cutting streaming hours, he would improve as a player, let me ask you this. If your future was unsecured and you didn't know that if losing this next match would get you fired, would you play better or worse? Some may argue that stress motivates people, but I think by the same logic, too much stress is also very, very bad. So with these two extremities being pointed out, it's pretty clear that the answer lies somewhere in between. This might be actually the best way I personally believe that players can mentally perform at their highest level while also staying responsible as well as mentally healthy. Anyways, I know this is a new style of content. If you guys did enjoy, please like and subscribe, and maybe I'll keep doing these. If you have any other topics you'd like to cover, comment down below, let me know. But of course, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.